Hi, Ron Janish here from andrewscourse.com. This time we're going to focus on targets versus signals. In Andrew's techniques, he would use certain things for targets and other things for signals. And while some people like to just reverse or take on a position when prices hit a target, other people prefer to wait for signals, and some people like to use both. Here's an example in silver. This is a reaction line technique that called for this line up here to be a target. And as prices were going up here, you would draw this line here, and if prices came up here, this would obviously be the target area that prices would go through and theoretically stall at. Now, would somebody go short here? Some people did, obviously, and that happens. Now, this also applies to stocks. Let's take a look at this one here. This is a Chinese internet stock, and once again, it went through a certain type of a pattern which would make you use this here as a target, and that's where it went up to. Now, you may get support down here. We'll discuss that in our private group, but this would have given you a target up here in this area here, for example. So let's take a look at some other places where there's targets and where there's signals. A really good example is the euro. Let's put up a weekly chart, see what's going on in here. Okay, at each of these places here where the arrow is SB, 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 sandbar, another sandbar, and these were all signals. And what this means in terms of what you need to do is this is not something you can simply draw some lines 6 months from now and say, hey, we're going to have a signal there. It's not the way it works. These were real signals, and you probably were watching the market in close to real time. So, for example, if I had not looked at the euro market yesterday, I would see this here as a target, see this here as a signal over here, but I did not have a signal, ironically, until prices went past the target area. And so this line here was the target, and it obviously made and exceeded the target, and then it came back down. Now, as prices come down in the euro, looking at this being a target and this being a target, why the two different ones? Well, it just depends on what happens, and people have choices, and you know, things happen. If this one here is a if this target here is hit and prices reverse at it, then this will effectively wind up turning into a signal if prices go down to this line and reverse at it. So that would wind up being a signal. Whereas down here, this particular one, it's a whole different methodology for determining it that we teach, that this would be a target area only. So this one here is really a target slash signal area, where this one here is a simple target area. And so if I'm looking for something else, one of the things that I might find when they come down here is another one of these SB or sandbar signals. Okay, that might occur in the target area, but I don't know that until later on. Whereas this one here, I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know I know this would not only be a target, it would be a reversal area. So it'd be a signal combination. Now, from either one of these, what I'm looking at is a good probability of the euro making a very significant turn. So if you're going to go euro shopping and prices come down here, consider it a clearance sale. So this is from a longer term perspective. Okay, let's look at some other ones. Let's look at some stocks. Here's an interesting one. Now this one's a little different. We'll do this one first. This one is here's a weekly. It's stock Cohu. Now market's obviously down today. Oh, bummer, bummer. Market's down. Okay, there we go. Now this over here is an ORE signal. Andrews claimed the ORE signal, which is you can use it as a target, but personally I prefer to use it as a signal, and you can actually use it as both a target and signal mechanism. And what happens is prices go to these ORE points and turn, and there's typically a significant counter move that goes to another signal point. Okay, and it could be a target signal. So for example, if the high here in the euro was an ORE point, which it was an ORE area, then the next place we're really looking for is that 130-ish area for prices to go to. Okay, but anyway, on this one here we have an ORE signal, and this would suggest that this one's going to be going up for a while. Okay, so be that as it may, let's look at something else. Here's what I jokingly call the unsinkable investment, and mainly because not because it can't go down, which of course it can, and it has recently, is because this is a company that owns tankers, double hull tankers, so they're theoretically unsinkable. Okay, and it pays a pretty decent dividend. And so what we have here is this area here is a reversal signal. Now this was what we call one of our real-time signals, and this is an SP signal, that you would have had to watch the data in this area here in order to take advantage of it in a timely fashion. You can't forecast it ahead of time. This one here was an SP signal, so you could not forecast ahead of time. This one was a target slash signal, so you could have found this one here easily. When you got this sell point here, sell signal here, you would have had this here as a target, which would have been a target slash reversal signal line. So this is a place where you're looking for not only places to go to, but you're looking for prices to reverse here. Quite possibly, it's not definite, it's possibly. Just like when prices then come up here, you then had a line of sorts, and if prices reversed at that line, then the probability was real high that they were going to go the other way to the next target area. And I didn't have any set cookie cutter targets down here. However, I do have at this point here a reversal signal watch because of the line that it did hit and it's responding to. So a reversal signal up here would suggest that the next move would be way up here somewhere. Okay, so that's what we have right now, and I thank you for your time. Please do go to andrewscourse.com, take the course, and come to our webinars, our seminars. Our next live seminar that we'll have as kind of a drop-in, laid-back, fun type event will be in Hawaii in the middle of June, and our openings for that are nearly gone. So andrewscourse.com, we will ANDREWSCOURSE.com. You'll know you're on the right page by when you see this, when you see Dr. Alan Andrews' picture. You'll know. He's not a smiling, upbeat kind of looking kind of guy, but he was really a wonderful person. Thank you for your time. Talk to you next time.